Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to this reading for today. You have this ocean card, it says distance and journey. You also have this moon, it says cycles and change on it, so a lot of you could be going on adventures or, making changes in your life, moving in new directions. The Queen of Wands, she has the sunflower right here, and that sunflower points towards the sun. So the Queen of Wands kind of represents moving towards the sun or, moving towards your inner happiness or something that you can't really kind of quantify because it's just she is following her feelings and that's it, and she has to learn as she goes. So she might be on a journey where she doesn't really know if she's moving in the right direction or not. And I kind of feel that for some of you where it's like you're having to trust yourself more or you're doing something. And here you go, we end with the sun right here and the sun points towards the sun. So there you go. But, again, you might have to trust yourself more or you might have to, there might not be any evidence. I always say that that's kind of the challenge with the Queen of Wands, is that she has to do something without evidence. And also, she's the only Wands court card that doesn't have salamanders on her cloak. Like the King of Wands has this little lizard here and the salamanders on his cloak, which represents protection from fire. So the Queen of Wands, she has to do something, but she isn't protected from risk, and so she has to do something that she wants to do. She also has this black cat right here. And during the times of the tarot, black cats were considered unlucky. The whole point of the black cat is that she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She's going to do it anyway. So I think that you kind of need to have that attitude moving forward, especially if you're trying to create something or, do something significant in your life. It's kind of like you're learning as you go and you have to do it without knowing if something is going to work or not. You have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords says something from the past is dead, done, over with. The Ten of Swords can represent like a blessing in disguise. He's making the symbol right here with his hand, and it represents a blessing. It's the same symbol the Hierophant is making on his card. And then right next to it you have the Wheel of Fortune. So this to me looks like some sort of turnaround. I also consider the Six of Cups to represent a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround. So a lot of you could be experiencing a turnaround here. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles comes up for like everybody right now. I think that we're all being called to something greater. The Ten of Pentacles is like your ultimate vision for your life. The 10 Pentacles form the tree of life on the card, and so the Ten of Pentacles is all about building, leaving a legacy. I think everybody on earth right now is being called to build something bigger. Now, this is not something that's going to happen overnight, but the thing with the Ten of Pentacles is if we build something over time, it usually lasts for a long time. So the Ten of Pentacles is about building like an establishment or establishing something in your life. Could be anything, could be love, could be business, could be both. It's whatever you want it to be. And I would definitely encourage you to work on whatever your ultimate vision for your life is. It's going to be different for all of you. And the other thing is that the Wheel of Fortune is your destiny. The Nine of Pentacles is like heaven on earth. So a lot of you are clearly trying to create a turnaround by improving your life, basically, and I think it would be definitely a good thing for you to work on right now. And again, this isn't necessarily going to be easy, it's definitely not going to happen overnight, so you're going to have to, put the work in to make it happen. Let's see. With the Queen of Wands, you have the King of Pentacles. It's funny I said establishment. The King of Pentacles is the card of establishment. So I feel whatever you are building, for a lot of you, I do feel this is financially related. There is a little bit of love here, but I just think that whatever you're trying to build has to do with maybe your finances or your career or your work or where you live, wherever you establish yourself. And the King of Pentacles is a great card for establishment, like I said, or creating an establishment. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, I think you are probably building a new Ten of Pentacles here. It's like, I think Virgo's lives, no matter how old you are, it doesn't matter. I think that in the time before now you may have had to reinvent yourself many times. Or maybe you have you've gone from one career to something totally different. Or maybe you've gone from one business to something totally different. I think Virgo is the sign that has experienced the most reinventions over many years, no matter how old you are. And now, I think you are mixing it all together. You're putting all your lives together, you are turning them into one life, and you are using all your skills together to create this establishment. And, we basically have talked about this before with the Ten of Pentacles. You have the Seven of Cups. I'm hearing the word pipe dream popping into my head. So it's like maybe you think what you want is a pipe dream. But the Seven of Cups basically says do not cheat yourself out of something that you totally could accomplish if you tried. I don't know how to explain maybe I should think about this, then I would be able to better explain it. I've always felt this way about the Seven of Cups, but I don't know exactly what to say with it. But it's like sometimes I feel with the Seven of Cups that we basically convince ourselves that we are successful if we don't do something. It's like we kind of think that, we tell ourselves a story as to why we didn't. I'll give you an example. Relationships, right? I've been in relationships before, one in particular where it's like we never really came together. We never really met or anything like that. It's just like a weird fling, right? And, the person at the end said something about how it's like, I just felt like we would have never, connected if we met or some BS like that, 12-year-old _ basically. And it's like, yeah, but you never even allowed this to come together in the first place. So it's like you don't really actually know what was going to happen. So it's just giving up at that point, right? And I feel like the Seven of Cups is saying don't give up on a dream. Don't allow yourself to convince yourself that something would have never worked and that's why you didn't try, right? It's like, no, you actually failed because you didn't try. I feel this is saying you need to try to accomplish your pipe dream even if you think it is a pipe dream. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Spirit World card. It says your spirit guides are sending you helpful people and opportunities your way. You have this Day and Night card. It says there's current disharmony due to existing differences in some matter. We don't really see much disharmony in this reading yet. I don't want to speak too soon, but, again, if you are dealing with a person or things where there's too much disharmony, I would avoid that. I feel like your guides are guiding you. You have the Knight of Swords. I'm going to show you the Knight of Swords on the table. So the Knight of Swords, sometimes I feel that he is running up to the next card, and then he turns away and goes back to the past. So again, I feel like the Knight of Swords, just like I said on the Seven of Cups, is saying don't give up on your dream, or don't give up on something that you don't think is possible. Because, I think it's totally possible if you put in the effort, whatever you're trying to accomplish or whatever, new heights you're trying to reach. And I feel the Knight of Swords is basically saying don't give up. With the Wheel of Fortune, I do feel, again, we have two cards here that would really represent a turnaround. So there could be some sort of change in your life, or this is probably a turnaround that you're creating really in your life. And the Wheel of Fortune is about changing your fortunes. I always say I like the Wheel of Fortune, but, the Wheel of Fortune is in action. There are things we have to do to create a turnaround with the Wheel of Fortune. We have to, number one, pay attention to the direction of the wheel. We have to pay attention to our vibrations with this snake that's on the side of the wheel. We also have to, double down on the good stuff that's coming, but we also have to accept the challenges and we have to deal with the challenges right away. So most people hide from their challenges, and the Wheel of Fortune says, no, you need to conquer your challenges head on as they show up. Again, challenges only get worse over time. And so, to really be in control with the wheel, again, we have to face the things we don't want to face, but we have to double down on the good stuff as well. And eventually, the wheel is spinning so quickly forward that it doesn't matter. So, create that positive momentum. You have the King of Wands. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. I kind of feel this is your energy. I do feel love here. And you've had a fire sign all up in your business for many months or years with me, so there definitely could be a fire sign for some of you. But I also feel this is kind of about you taking control of your life. If you are attracting love, it does look very good, though. I mean, King and Queen of Wands are very passionate about each other. And so you could be attracting a very passionate connection. Fire and earth stand out to me with that King of Pentacles as well, so it. Could be a fire-earth sign. Could also be a combination of both of those signs, so there you go. That's it. I thought I was going to say more, but not. Here you go with the Knight of Swords. It's like you have a choice here with the Knight of Swords. Again, I would keep moving in this direction here. Like I said, sometimes I feel the Knight of Swords is where we get to a point in our lives where we just don't understand or know what our next step should be. And if we would just take a step, we would be fine. But, the Knight of Swords is running away, so I think you have a choice and I would keep pushing forward. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Page of Cups. In your next row, you have this card that says a new romantic cycle begins. You also have the Six of Cups here, which could also represent a soulmate. So definitely could be an admirer or new person coming in for you. With the, I can't make this up, with the 2 you have, with the King of Wands, you have the KN, 2 of Cups here. I have too many cards going on in my head right now, but the 2 of Cups is a perfect match. 2 of Cups can be a person who is different than your usual type, definitely leaning towards fire here in this reading. But again, take it how it resonates. Could be any sign coming in for you. The 2 of Cups, outside of love, is also great for connecting with your higher self. So the 2 of Cups usually represents you and your higher self, and that's what I would focus on. With the 2 of Cups, it's like communicating with your higher self, especially in those moments of doubt with that Knight of Swords. If you're doubting yourself, I would meditate, go within, ask yourself questions. And, it's okay to be scared, right? It's okay to be afraid. And usually I feel the Knight of Swords isn't taking that next step because he is afraid of what's going to happen on the other side. But I think that's what you need to discover. Next, in the area of your messages from your future self, you have this card. It says it's time for action. You also have this card. It says a new romantic cycle begins. Definitely a new romantic cycle. So if you want love, could be a new person. I also feel it's time to take action again on heaven on earth, like I said with the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is a card of gratitude and luxuries. But she's created a very nice environment for herself. The 9 of Pentacles is all about our environment. She has this snail right here, and the snail is my spirit animal, Virgo. And the snail also wears its home on its back. So I feel for a lot of you that, creating an environment of success is going to be important for you. And also realize that, again, if you're trying to create 10 of Pentacles, it can take years to create that. And a lot of people say to me like, well, I've been waiting so long. I don't want to wait for years. I'm always like, well, it's like, as Brian Tracy used to say, I think it was Brian Tracy, it might have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure it was Brian Tracy, that, in 5 years it will have been 5 years anyway. So it's like, why not spend, even if it took you 5 years to create a better life, it's like you're going to be in a better position. So it's like, why not create it? And also, things don't happen overnight, right? It's like a gradual process. So it's not like you're going to be suffering for the next 5 years. It's like things will be improving slowly but surely. So I think you need to work towards whatever your 9 of Pentacles vision is. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, I'm going to put those 2 together. You have the 6 of Cups. So a million things are popping into my head here. Number 1, every single person has been getting things about childlike energy. I think we need to embrace our inner child in a deeper way, at this time. We need to be more playful, we need to ask more questions, we need to kind of explore. I think all those energies are great for what's going on right now. I feel this could also be a new soulmate. Again, I do not read the 6 of Cups as a person coming back from the past. I feel like that's something that someone on YouTube said years ago, and now everybody says that it represents someone coming back from the past. Doesn't. It represents innocence and nostalgia, which could represent you thinking about a person from the past, but it doesn't mean they're coming back. And the 6 of Cups can also represent a soulmate. The other thing is that you have 2 6s. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love 2 6s. 2 6s say you're on the right path, you're moving forward. And again, the 6 of Swords would be moving forward to calmer shores, so I think a lot of you are moving forward. You have the 8 of Swords. Again, there's a tiny bit of stuck energy in this reading. I think with the Knight of Swords, this is just those doubts in yourself. The 8 of Swords says that you might only be thinking of one way to do things when there are many. So the 8 of Swords encourages us to open up to all ways of doing everything that we want to do in life, and if we do that, we'll be fine. With the 9 of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is seeing things clearly, which is great. With the 9 of Pentacles, she has that falcon on her hand, and she's training her focus. When we can clearly see what we want and we focus on it, we can attract it or create it. So I think that your focus is clearly very important. With the 6 of Cups, you have the Star. Yep, some sort of wish coming true here. This is a very good reading, Virgo. I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight. Nothing does, of course, but this is very positive. You have the Sun, and the Sun and the Star together can be fame and fortune. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to become famous. It just is very good for getting attention or creating positive attention in yourself. The Star can also represent attracting someone you see as a star. So you could be attracting a very solid connection or a connection that really supports you. So that looks amazing. The Star is also a card of healing, so you definitely could be healing at this time. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups. Very easy solution to the Eight of Swords. The Nine of Cups says when we are in alignment with what we want, then we get it. The Nine of Cups is about becoming the thing you want to be before you have it. And people always ask me, how is that possible? How can I have $10 million if I don't have $10 million? I'm like, well, all you have to do is act as if you have $10 million. If you want to be in love, stop acting single, right? It's like most single people I know, they act single. And I always tell those people, like, you have to start acting as if you are in a connection. Do the things you would do if you were in a connection. You know, I hear it all the time where people are like, you know, I want to do all these things. I want to go on hikes with the person I love. I want to go to the movies. It's like, well, do that now because you can do all those things right now. And so if you start acting as if and adopting the habits, you will have what you want. And the Nine of Cups is, you know, that is the secret to the Nine of Cups. Next, in your outcome row for the good stuff, you have the Soul card and this Heal card. With the Star, definitely could be some sort of soul healing, or you could be undergoing some sort of deep healing. I would say, based off the astrology for Virgo in recent times, your soul healing probably has to do with something involving family. You know, just based off your astrology, so, you know, you could have like, you know, it's like maybe you realize that you date people who fill some sort of gap that wasn't filled when you were a child by your parents. And even, you know, even if we have perfect parents, you know, no parents are perfect. So usually, even if we were raised, you know, in a healthy way, we still have some sort of trauma. Because, you know, 2-year-olds are dummies, right? We don't know what's real or not. And, you know, I think that I've read so many studies about like 2-year-olds. By the time children are 2, they hear the word no, like 1,000,000 times or something crazy like that, right? So it's like, do you think that does something to you? Probably. A 2-year-old doesn't know the difference of like someone not immediately responding to them and someone taking like a minute to respond. And so that can make you feel, you know, anxiety around connections and things like that as well. So we all have to heal that inner child, right? We all have to get over those things that happened to us when we were 2 years old that we don't realize are affecting us now. And, you know, I think Virgo has definitely learned that lesson based off the past period of astrology. And, you know, it doesn't even have to just be in love. This could be in business or work. It could be your, you know, it could have to do with your relationship to money and things like that as well. So, you know, I think a lot of you could be processing that, which is good. It's showing up in the good stuff. And obviously, when we get over ourselves, as I say, and we get over this stuff, then we can heal and we can live a better life. You have the Sun, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. The Sun, I feel like the sun is shining on you, Virgo. This is a very good reading, you know, a lot of good stuff showing up. So there could just be a lot of happiness, enjoyment. I feel like some of you are focusing more on enjoyment as well. Like you could be deciding that you don't want to be so serious, like in a good way, right? You want more, peace in your life. And I'm getting something about more like a peaceful feeling to this Sun card. So I think this is talking more about you inviting peace into your life. You have the Six of Swords. I can't get it, this is a new deck, so the new decks sometimes just stick right to the table. But the Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores, a lot of improvements. I do think that starting now, Virgo will definitely be experiencing a lot of improvements. I think your last few years, like, have they been hard? Maybe. Like, maybe not really hard, but I think there have been moments that were really hard. So it's like the hard moments were really hard, not just hard. And I feel like that's what you're kind of moving on from with the Six of Swords. You have the Ten of Wands again. Ten of Wands is carrying a heavy burden, but in the good stuff, the Ten of Wands would say you're getting very close to your goal. He is, you know, he planted these wands and they are his harvest, and he's about to reach his home in the background and he is about to have a harvest. So I feel for a lot of you that you're about to have a harvest with that energy, which is good. So let's see here, Virgo, what is going on for you? With the Sun, you have the Moon. There you go. So the Sun and the Moon together, I normally consider to be very negative because it is like total opposite energy. So like in love, for example, this could be you being with a person where there are just too many differences to overcome. The good news is it's showing up in the good stuff, and I feel like this is saying you're coming out of a moon period and you're stepping into the sun. So that would be good. With the Six of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, you know, you have both. They both really march to the beat of their own drum. And I think that's a little bit of the secret sauce for you here in this reading. It's, you know, doing your own thing, listening to yourself, not listening to your 2-year-old self and your parents, right? And I think overcoming that will lead to a lot of success. With the 10 of Wands, you have the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands taking the lead in the good stuff. 2 of Wands in the good stuff would also represent a lot of progress that you could be making. So you cannot make this up. Do I need to say it, Virgo? Like, are you kidding me? So again, I think you're like taking the lead or something like that. You have the Scales of Balance card. It says, keep in balance. So definitely a good 2 of Pentacles, good for balance. You have a butterfly card as usual. It says, a change for the better. So the whole entire reading is a very positive change. So I definitely feel there could be a change for the better. You have this Diamond card. It says, you will be receiving or giving a precious gift. 6 of Cups is a gift from the universe, so there definitely could be like a gift from the universe coming in for you, which is great. You have this Parrot. It says, someone will gossip without you and all your secrets. Let them talk. Of course, free attention is free attention. I love when people talk about me, so it just, grows my channel and even in other areas of my life as well, right? So take the free attention. We are in Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde is notorious for gossip. The best thing you can do during Mars retrograde is to completely ignore it, because if you don't, then you have this Lightning card that says, control your anger, you will be sorry. So if you don't ignore it, Mars retrograde is always a bad time for confrontation, flying off the handle, things like that, right? So I would just ignore it and move on. But a really good reading, Virgo. I love this for you. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.